Hey everybody, it's Doug here. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to a little bit of an unboxing and storytelling little event around this game. And, well, we'll talk about the next part of this in a second. Anyway, before I get started, I just want to let you know that in my professional studio, nothing ever goes wrong. I have it so completely soundproof. You never hear anything like dogs barking or traffic or anything like that. So today, we're going to add to that by saying you're not going to hear the construction and re-roofing going on next door. If you do, I apologize. It's the way the world works. But anyway, what am I here to talk about today? Well, as you can see, I have Takaido in front of me. It's from FunForge. It's one of the games that I've really enjoyed. It's a game that I use when I'm showing modern board games to new people, and I really love it. And it's going to remain in my collection forever. I do have the collector's edition. And now you're saying, well, why are you showing this? Because we're going to talk about, obviously you can see it over there, we're going to talk about Namiji. But anyway, I just wanted to remind everybody how incredible this game is, right? I mean, just the production values. You know, I have all the expansions in it, right? Because I have the collector's edition and everything else. And how pretty the board is. We won't get out the big board, but you guys know what it looks like. And then, you know, you have all the super cool, always leave them in the plastic and take them out and put them back in. The really awesome pre-painted, super cool pre-painted minis that came with it. The pretty cards, all the stuff that came with it. It's just a phenomenal game, phenomenal production. You can't go wrong with Takaido. If you can get a copy of the collector's edition of Takaido, it's also got a great insert, by the way, which I really enjoy. Do get it. It is absolutely worth it. So I was just going to point out the fact that the new game does not take away from the old one. They're in the same themed genre, I guess, of games for FunForge. And this really is one of the classics, a fantastic game. But now we're going to get into something else. And I want to say this is an unboxing, but we're going to talk about the game a little bit more than that too. And I'm going to talk about Namiji, which I have right here. Now, Namiji is the successor, or the next iteration of Takaido. It's not the same game at all, though it does have some similar features to it and some similar production values. So I haven't opened the box yet. As you can see, I left the shrink on it so I could show you. This is going to be my first time seeing my copy of it as well. And I can't wait, actually. And one of the things I'm going to start with, because I didn't expect this, I don't know why, it's been, you know, when you do things on Kickstarter, sometimes it takes forever. And I don't ask unlike, I mean, good or bad, I don't care. I'm not judging or anything. I don't ask publishers for games much anymore because I don't want to feel obligated to play it, one, if I don't like it, and two, to hype it up if it's not something I want to hype up. And like, I get a lot of people saying, hey, we want to send you our game, and it's a multiplayer game or like a party type game, and I'm like, I can't do that on my channel. It's not what I do. So I kind of stopped. I used to get, tons and tons of games from publishers to put on the channel. I appreciated it, but I always felt obligated to make sure I showed it off. And one of the things that I like to do for you all is make sure I don't put a game on the channel that I don't like, but I also don't talk about the games I don't like. I want things to remain positive. So, I mean, I might tell you if I don't like a mechanic or something, but if I just don't like a game at all, it's not my game, I won't put it on the channel. And sometimes I'll talk about those. Like, I did talk about, like, as much as everybody enjoyed Paperback, I did not feel the game at all. It's a great game. I know people love it, but I just didn't feel it myself. It felt like homework, so I didn't really enjoy it. As an example. So you'll never see it on the channel, right? But I'm not going to badmouth it. A lot of people love the game, you know, this is great. It's just wasn't for me. Anyway, one of the things that came in a separate box, which I did open, was this. This is how awesome the production value of this game is. These are the wooden components that came in this little box here. And yeah, the box lid's not going to stay open very easily, but I wanted to show you. I'm not going to take them out. I just wanted to show you what they look like. I'll show you a couple examples. Like, I don't even know what all the components do yet, but clearly these are going to replace all the cardboard in the game, right? These tokens here, and they're just beautiful. I mean, they're really amazing production values. One of the things I love about crowdfunding is the ability to overproduce just about everything. And sometimes that works in a game, sometimes it doesn't. This is one of those games, because it's so artistically styled, that it works very well in to overproduce with the all painted miniatures and everything. I think I did the same thing with this one. I did with the last one. But just to give you an idea of how nice these. and this is all really a nice box. Like the insert's really thick, the padding's really thick, so when you break that out, they're going to go, man, that's a board game, are you kidding me? But anyway, I have not so that's the wooden components that would replace a lot of the cardboard in the game. And then the back of the cover, like I've looked at this now. This one, unlike, so in Takaido, you're going across the road from one city to the next. It's really cool. It's awesome. I played it on the channel, I believe. I played it a ton with my family, and it's just a great game. This is, again, this one, you're going to hoist the sails, right? And you're fishermen going along the crystalline waters of feudal Japan in Namiji. And again, it's a 2 to 5 player game. These are not games you can play solo. They're not cooperative games. That's okay. I have plenty of competitive games in my collection. I just don't play them on the channel because, well, it's just me. Now, sometimes if it's something I can demonstrate, I will. I'm pretty impressed that I'm gonna jinx myself right here that the hammering next door is not too loud. Anyway, we're gonna take the shrink off and we're gonna take a look at what's in this box real quick, and I'm gonna talk about art in games and what's happening to gaming today with some of the games I've been playing. I find myself more and more impressed and just like dazzled by the artistic value of a game and how much work and beauty is going into the production like this. Even the cover, much like the original cover of Takaido, is embossed. The logo is super cool with the Japanese version of it there. It says Takaido Namiji, and it's got Antoine Bauz's name up here. He's and also Nivad. Those are the designers. I think they're the same two same exact two that did Takaido. And of course, it's a Funforge game. But I mean, look at that, just beautiful, and all the white space, very marketing centric, right? The box is not a standard size, which I don't know the design decisions on that. Neither of them have been, and I think it's because the boards are kind of big. But let's take a look at here. And once again, I mean, this game is just, I already know it's beautiful, right? It's just a beautiful game. I mean, even though, look, here's something. Here's a little touch. These are the touches. This is the punch board, right? You're not going to use this. This is just the punch board. But there's art. I almost don't want to get rid of the punch board thing because look at the art on it. I mean, I know that art's going to be elsewhere. We're going to open this up in a minute. But once again, the board's in here as well, so we're going to get to see that here. I'm going to take the shrink off of this as well. We're going to get to take a look at the components. Now, again, I have the wooden components to replace all of the tokens, so that'll be a thing. I'm just going to put these in the bottom of the tray or something if I can. But it also has an art book that shows these are the panoramas that are super cool. That remember those from Takaido where you build the panoramas. You do the same thing in this game. So there's a lot of similarities. But look at the artwork. I mean, this is a literal masterpiece. It really, I mean, it's just beautiful, right? And again, I think without crowdfunding, I don't know if these ever would have come to life because the production values have got to be pretty up there. And if you had to do that in advance with a guess on whether or not it's going to succeed, I don't know if it would have. But, I mean, look at just the beauty of this game. It's just phenomenal. And one of the things I love about Takaido and this game is the rules are just 5, 6 pages, 7 pages long, 8 pages. 8 pages of rules. Most of that artwork and examples, right? I mean, look, most of it's art. So, you look at here and you go, well, how hard is this game going to be to teach others? Not. And that's one of the things I love about Takaido. Because you take this to it, let's say, you want somebody's interested in understanding a little bit more about the new gaming world and what we do and what we play now, and you get to a group of people and you say, I'm going to teach you a game. They're really intimidated because they're thinking of like the German Euro style games that are often complicated and complex. And you break out this and they go, wow, that's really pretty, right? And you break out Takaido and you go, that's a really beautiful game. And then you start playing and it's so simple and elegant. It's just, you can't go wrong, right? So anyway, this game, I'm sure Namiji will fall into the same category. Takaido will never leave my collection for that reason, because I get to play it with people that don't play games, and even the ones that do just enjoy it. But as you can see, we do have cardboard here. Like I said, with the exception of the ones that we need in the game, I think these 3 things, for example, I will need. But I think all the other stuff is covered by the wooden tokens. And once again, I almost don't want to throw these away because there's beautiful artwork on the actual punch boards that you wouldn't keep. But anyway, just the production value, even in the tokens are fantastic, right? And stylized and pretty. So we're going to put those aside because, again, I have the wooden pieces for that. That's pretty amazing. I think we're going to do the board last, but I think you've all seen the board. And these are the player boards themselves. Again, they have their own little space here, like everything else. And you can see, I don't know what it is about the use of white space in this game that just makes the game more interesting to me. But, you know, in a lot of marketing, you say white space it has value. It's good, you know, simplicity, draw your eye to the points that you want, etc. And I'm not a marketer, so I might be talking part way out of my, you know what, but I do interact with marketing a lot in my roles, so I do get exposed to a lot of the marketing stuff that goes on in the world. But anyway, these are the different player boards with the different actual ships that you'll play. We'll look at the miniatures in a minute. I did get they're all painted. I mean, it's just a fantastic production. But these are the boards that you have, and I don't know that they're different on this. I haven't looked to see if they're actually different on the two sides. It doesn't look like it, but heck, you never know. Yeah, it doesn't look like they're different. They're just double-sided. So, again, talk about production value. They made sure that no matter which way you flip your board, you're going to have your board. So that's pretty awesome, right? Anyway, I don't know how to play it yet. I haven't even looked. I've watched barely anything on the gameplay. I knew because of what it was that I would enjoy it. You know, I probably will punch out the tokens and put them here just because that's what you do. And they did include some wooden tokens in here. It looks like a turn order type token or something like that. And then I can't remember what these are called in the game, but they go on your boards. Like you move them along here. You take them off of here, stuff like that. I'll go look it up because I want to know what they're called. I'm sure it's pretty easy to find. Like, what are those components? Well, not as easy to find as I thought it would be, but hey, a whirlpool station, that just means offerings. Okay, so you got these offerings here, and they're basically a little white plastic, they would be paper boats, I guess, right? And then, of course, the cards. We'll get into the cards here. I think this is for, if I'm not, I don't know what that's for yet, that little section there, because these cards, I guess you could separate them out. I don't know. We'll have to see. I wonder if I could just not, I want to keep that beautiful case around, so I was thinking maybe I could take all the wood stuff and put it in here, but why would I do that? I'll just put the cardboard in there and never use it. But these are the cards that are coming in the game. I mean, again, the artwork on the cards is fantastic too. And you can see, I don't know the rules yet, so I'm really just showing you stuff right at this point. I have to figure out the rules. I do know a little bit about, like, the movement mechanics and everything are very similar to Takaido, where the last person is always going first, and that makes for interesting dynamic in the game. And also, I love the idea of building. It's a point salad game, you know, really is at its core, but it's so elegant. It's pretty nice. Like building these panoramas up. These cards seem not as good as the previous ones. I don't know. I'll have to look. They seem a little more flimsy. I don't know. The panorama cards, but these are all the panoramas that you have, and they have it builds a piece of art that you score points on, right? But it ends up looking really cool in your tableau in the game. And those are the cards there, and they're pretty basic. I don't know what this is yet. Again, I just don't know. So we're going to take this little thing out here, this little tray, see what that does for us. Okay, and I believe it's going to. Oh, it's taped. Hold on, I gotta get the tape off. Good that they taped it for travel, but you know, once it's here, I will not ever put this game in a place where it needs to be taped shut. But what do we got? It says this looks like an expansion, Takaido Namiji Aquamarine, and I believe this is the thing that, yeah, see, this is an expansion here, and I believe it has a little board that goes into the middle of the table. I've seen this part before. See where it goes? This goes into the middle of the board here, and how it gives you this whirlpool effect thing, which you can do. It's called Aquamarine. And there's some other components to it. Looks like there's some cards and another little baggie for the tokens that you might get. And I love that it has, look how specific the insert is. Perfect, right? Just perfect. And I think under here, just for the cards, and under here, I guess you put the tokens in here and leave them there, right? We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I will look into that as we go. But it also has some different rules, it looks like, for the boats, like something special that they get to do. Anyway, that's the little expansion that comes with it. And then I think the key thing here that I really loved about about Takaido was the beautiful miniatures that came in the game for all the different characters. And this one doesn't have as many. Maybe it will someday, but each boat is a different, unique character. And I think they're not, I don't know, I'll have to look. I don't believe they're asymmetrical in the way that, maybe they are, maybe they have different abilities, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like they're not asymmetrical like the characters in Takaido. It looks like they all have the same basic function, and then you probably change your strategy as you go. But you're playing the crew of a ship, and the personality in this is the ship itself. And look at the paint job on that. How fantastic is that? Man, that is so nicely done. You think when you get pre-painted miniatures there wouldn't be any shading or values. Maybe they're using new quick paints, which, by the way, I'm testing on some miniatures. Had bad luck because I used a darker primer, and I learned if you're going to use quick paints, the contrast paints, quick paints, use a white primer. Just something to share with you. Look at that. That is so cool. God, just a wonderful little piece of art there in this miniature, all painted and nice. I'm going to show you each one in a little bit here and just spin it around. I mean, I don't know what your choice is here. Do you just choose the one you think is the coolest? I'll have to look at the rules, but I'm going to go with that. Because they're all so different. Maybe just randomize it. Just throw somebody aboard and say, this is your ship, so you get a different variety. People aren't always picking the same ones. I don't know if I showed this one or not. I don't think so. But look at that. Just so well done, man. Oh my gosh. It's got a cool squid on the front of the ship. Very nice. Very, very nice. And I'm sure some of you will share with me because you probably played it already. I just got mine, so we'll see. I had it the other day, but I was still filming Batman, so I didn't get it out yet. But yeah, I can tell you right now, this is coming to the table for my family very, very soon. Let's see, how does that go in there? Like that? Okay. They all face the same way, so I want to make sure that put them in right. This looks like it would go this way, though. Yep, there we go. They fit in nicely, so yeah. Okay, and wow, just every single ship is so unique and different looking. How cleverly done they've creation of this is amazing. This one's got little pigs on it. I don't know why, but it's cool. Looks like it's made of pigskin for the sail too. That could be grim or dark. I don't know, for a game that's not meant to be dark. And then we'll take one last look at the rule book, because I don't believe the ships are have any asymmetrical capabilities. Maybe they do, because there are some cards. Maybe they do, because these cards here seem to be related. Yeah, they are actually related to the different ships, I think, right? Some of these? No? I don't know. I don't know. You'll tell me. Maybe not. I may have been mistaken about that. I think this is one of the cards you get when you go to a certain location. Because, I mean, that's what a lot of the cards in the game are. Yeah. Okay. There's these location cards. There's not a lot of cards in the game. There's a lot less than there were in Takaido, but I think that as expansions grow out and stuff like that, we'll probably see more. Maybe that's what these are for. These are for future expansions. I don't know. We'll see. We're going to punch this out and see how it all plays out, and then I'll show you the board. Okay, so here's how it looks punched and ready to go. I realize I put that in backwards because this section right here holds these the player boards. They go in just like that into the box. Again, nicely designed piece of plastic to do the insert with, and that is basically the game board. It fits in. Everything fits nice. The tokens all have their proper place. Everything looks like it belongs, and it'll be interesting to play. I can't wait to get into the rules and understand the game. Clearly there's a lot of set collection and kind of I don't know, Tetris type stuff going on here. It's again, these are not meant to be complicated games. They're meant to be truly enjoyable, fun, simple, mechanically simple games with a lot of depth in the gameplay and enjoyment in them. And the board looks enormous. So I'm going to try and lay it out for you, but it does look quite large. It is quite large. Okay, I'll give you an idea. It is a big board, as you can see. Big board, and that's the whirlpool thing in the middle that I was talking about. You replace that expansion has you replace that with that other board that goes in, and you can see there's the panorama cards and the two types of cards we talked about. And with each stop here along the way, you're going to take some form of action. I'm sure some of the actions have to do with those offerings. Some of them have to do with collecting resources. I guess it doesn't look like there's money, but there's fish and stuff that you're going to collect along the way as well. There's something over here that you do. I don't know yet. I imagine that you're going to start in one of these big docks, or maybe these are the checkpoints that you go around. And it looks like, unlike Takaido, where you go one direction, you stop. It looks like you can go wrap around the board and continue. I don't, depending on, I guess, when the game ends. Like I said, I haven't really delved into that yet. But anyway, absolutely massive board for the game, which is cool. I don't mind it at all. It looks really pretty on the table, especially with the awesome painted miniatures and now the wooden tokens that I have with it. So that's an unboxing of, sort of an unboxing of Namiji. And again, I kind of want to, and hope this opens up some dialogue. I'd love to hear from you all on this. But, you know, we're talking about artistic style in games and what that has done for the gaming industry. You know, like I just was playing Batman, The Dark Knight Returns, and in the last video where I actually ended the game, I won't tell you if I won or lost, but I ended the game, I commented on the fact that the board itself, the game board, which is dry erase board, it has some really clever mechanics in it. The board itself, I think, was meant to look like some kind of Frank Miller computer thing out of the Batcave, but it wasn't. It's not the most attractive board. When you see things like this, that as a comparison, you know why. I think it was a functional board. I think it did what it's supposed to do, but it wasn't as appealing as some. So anyway, I noticed that the hammering and the roof next door is getting a little louder. So we're going to end this here. Hopefully this gave you a good idea what to look for. But once again, I can't recommend these two games more. Now, if you're like a hardcore Euro gamer, I want deep strategy, I want a 3-4 hour crazy game of something that's going to make me think so hard that it drains me physically, this is not going to be for you, okay? But if you want a game that you can put on the table with your friends and family and play and just enjoy, there is no violence in it, there's no combat, you're just, in Takaido, you're just traveling and you're trying to see what kind of sights and people you can encounter along the way. Namiji looks like you're fishing. And so, you know, it's like, I love that concept. Now, don't get me wrong, you know, I play a lot of games with violence on the channel. A lot of dungeon crawlers and stuff. I love those games. So it's nice to get a break, and to get a break in such an artistically wonderful style. Bummed that my box got a little dented. I think that came that way when I got it, but it's okay. To have that artistic style in the game is just so nice, and to have that kind of like peaceful, we're just playing to fish and travel this road, it's just cool. And the game design and the streamlined mechanics are so good. It's very easy to get into. People will really enjoy it. I can't wait to play with these wood Namiji pieces. I mean, heck, I almost want to, when I go somewhere to play, I almost want to bring both of them and say, we can play both, let's try them out. Or, you know, which one do you want to play? They're both so wonderful. And another one that goes along with this, I'm trying to remember what it's called. I just blanked out. Oh my God, I blanked out. The one with the panda bears. That one kind of falls and you're making the bamboo shoots. What's the name of that? I'm sure someone will remind me and put it on in the chat or in the or post it. But anyway, that's my talking points here. I'd like to start a dialogue around this, the artistic value of board games these days. And the more I look at some of these games, like I just got the massively overproduced, massively produced, too much stuff to ever play through second wave of Solomon Kane. And the miniatures and the stories and the art and everything's just so phenomenal. It's like, how do we go back? Like, I don't think we'll ever go back to these simple games again. These like indie games, because they can be funded on Kickstarter or on GameFound or something, and have all this great production with it. So I don't know why we would go back at this point. But anyway, those are my thoughts. Share those thoughts with me as well, and I will talk to you in the next episode of something. Take care. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.